Hey guys. So, I can't believe that some of you guys are already driving cars, much less graduating from high school. Like Keyshawn, I remember when they brought you home from Wong Louie. You were so adorable, by the way. Anyways, I think the reason why it's kind of unbelievable is because it reminds me of how much older I'm getting. But anyway, that's not the point. You guys don't care about that. You guys are waiting for me to say something that is relevant to your life. So, I made a few notes and I made a list of four things that I wish I knew when I was about to graduate high school. And number one on my list says having a credit card is kind of a good idea. And you need to buy things that you would have bought anyways, like gas or grocery stuff or makeup or whatever, and then like pay back right away because it helps you to build something called a credit history if you don't already know what that is. And credit history is important if you want to buy, like, let's say a brand new car that costs like $20,000. If you want to get a loan to finance that, or if you want to eventually buy a house or property and you need to take out a loan to do that, having a credit history is pretty important. So a credit card can help you to do that. That's one of the ways you can. Number two, what did I wish I knew? Number two on my list here says the person who you have a crush on now, who's like your whole world, there's a lot more where they came from, especially if you plan on leaving St. Croix. I mean, if COVID lets us be great and travel again, well, travel without fear. So yeah, if you plan on leaving St. Croix, there's a lot more fish in the sea, and so there'll be more crushes. I hope your like current crushes and like girlfriends and boyfriends don't hate me for saying this right now, but anyways, they'll get over it. Number three, college is only one way to be successful. The main idea is to learn a trade or a skill that will help you to earn an income or to earn money that will help you to pay your bills and to be able to save. That's the main idea. And if college helps you do that, great, but there's so many other ways that you can do that. You could go to trade school, you could be a mechanic. Like, people make a big deal out of college, but it's just one way to be successful. And number four, the last one, it's cliche, but it's no less true. You guys gotta believe in yourself. I know you come from a small school, from a small place, and to the rest of the world, like, you come from a school that's based in a religion that nobody, well, not nobody, but a lot of people have not heard about before. But what you're still, the things that you guys are learning, I mean, your school is not perfect. It's not. But the values that you guys are learning are world class. Like honesty, uh, the importance of hard work, um, kindness, service. Who doesn't want to work with somebody who is kind, somebody who works hard, somebody who is honest? Those types of values make you marketable all over the world. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. And if you guys already knew that, some of you guys are like, I already know all of that. But if you already knew that, good for you. You are much wiser and more knowledgeable. Um, Definitely than I was when I was your age or when I was just graduating from high school. And I applaud you. So congratulations, guys. Class of 2020, you guys have been through so much. You've been through two hurricanes back to back through your high school career. You've been through a whole pandemic. But guess what? You are capable of getting through so much more. Congratulations.
Blessings to the SDA class of 2020. My name is Jadel Jules. For those of you who are not familiar with me, I graduated from the St. Croix Seventh Adventist School 10 years ago, and I still pretty much think that I go there. It's just like yesterday. I came here to offer some words of encouragement in a time of uncertainty and a time where we pretty much use social distancing methods, social media, and pretty much Zoom or Skype to pretty much get our points across and to stay safe. I want to share a short anecdote with you. I remember growing up, my father always quoted to me that he is going and I am coming. I never really appreciated what he meant. As I began my initial hospital rotations as a nurse, back in 2011, I would say a nursing student. I was coming into this nursing world. My father was literally going as he was admitted to the hospital for a terminal condition. I recall sitting in on morning reports concerning patients as night shift nurses would give updates about the status of patients to the day shift nurses. I remember the reports given about my father as they expected him to pass away soon. What seemed like the beginning of a bright future for me as a nursing student was quickly turning into a discouraging end to life for my father. After my clinical rotation and during my breaks, I would visit my dad and try to encourage him and comfort him. One day, in the midst of his pain, he said to me, "Son, don't worry about me. I have Jesus. Help those who cannot help themselves." Despite him eventually passing later that year, to this day, I have been a successful registered nurse for over 6 years with 6+ years of emergency room experience. And I'm positioned to graduate next month with a doctoral degree in nursing practice as a family nurse practitioner. Even the promise of graduating was not sure because during my clinical rotations, the urgent care was training and closed due to economic strain related to the COVID pandemic. However, I was notified that I met the requirements for direct patient care hours that allows me to complete my program through stimulation activities. My youths, we make plans for our lives, but God ultimately directs our paths. As easily as we come into this life, as easy as opportunities come, these things can easily go. When darkness seems like your closest friend, remember that we can walk by faith, and we do walk by faith and not by sight in discouraging situations, but a hope in a brighter tomorrow in the one who is a lamp to our feet and a light to our paths. Right now, I am going. Your parents and your elders are going, and you are coming. Can you weather the storms of life as you come into this world? We have an anchor that keeps the soul, and that rock is Jesus. When uncertainty threatens you or your future, always remember what my boy Pastor Webster always tells me. I coolin' while Jah ruling. One love and blessings to the beautiful class of 2020, and I wish much blessings and success.
Visions that can change the world, trapped inside an ordinary girl. She looks just like me, too afraid to dream out loud. No, it's simple, your idea. It won't make sense to everybody. You need courage now if you're gonna persevere. To fulfill divine purpose, you gotta answer when you're called. So don't be afraid to face the world against the law. Keep the dream alive, don't let it die. There's something deep inside, keeps inspiring you to try. Don't stop and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Don't give up. Every victory comes in time. Work today to change tomorrow. It gets easier. Who's to say that you can't fly? And every step will take you get closer to your destination. now. Don't you know you're almost there? Purpose, you gotta answer when you're called. So don't be afraid to change the world against the laws. Keep the dream alive, don't let it die. There's something deep inside, keeps inspiring you to try. Don't stop and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way, but you gotta keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart to light and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Who holds the pieces to complete the puzzle? The answer then can solve your mystery. The key that can unlock your understanding. It's all inside of you. You have everything you need. Keep the dream alive, don't let it die. There's something deep inside, keeps inspiring you to try. Don't stop and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way. You gotta keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart to life. Don't ever give up. Don't never give up on you. No, don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, don't give up.
West Standard by Milana Graham. Being special is hard. Being the wow factor, being the person that everyone notices when you walk into a place, being the standard of excellence, coming up with spectacular ideas each time, and Just setting the bar is exhausting. Greatness is a position that one achieves for themselves. It is also a place where adaptability is tested. Being cornered into being superior allows you to shift gears. It forces you to understand adaptability. It forces you to become a pearl in an oyster. It forces you to become comfortable with the greatest uncomfort. It forces you to see things clearly through both eyes. Being amongst the first in your generation to succeed under these circumstances is such an important task. But I mean, someone had to do it. Bar set. Universities are going to make note of your presence. Bar set. A resounding alarm will be drawn towards you when you speak of the year that you graduated. Bar set. They will see and they will feel your resilience. Bar set. You are now the bar, the standard of excellence for our generation. Yes, it is hard being special. Yes, more is going to be expected from you. Yes, you are going to have an entirely new set of challenges. So congratulations to the St. Croix Seventh-day Adventist School class of 2020 to being the bar of excellence.
Hello, class of 2020. I'm so excited. In a few more days or probably weeks, you will be receiving your diploma, and I could only begin to imagine how excited you are. I mean, back in 2011, when I went to the St. Croix Seventh Adventist School, I remember how excited I was to have all my family, my friends, and loved ones to experience this great weekend with me. But unfortunately, this year was not fair to you. Let's just put it quite blank. Throughout the school year, you had to transition from a classroom to being home, trying to stay healthy, and also completing all your course online. And I could only imagine how tough that was. But despite it all, you guys are just champions, and you push through it and you accomplish it. And for that, a big congratulations is in order. And I just want to dedicate this song to you. You'll never walk alone. I know you won't probably get to walk down and hear all the horns going at Island Center or the complex, and to hear your family scream your name and as you receive a diploma. But I want you to know, despite it all, you'll never walk alone. When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of that storm is a golden sky and a sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with all the hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. walk on through the rain, though your dreams they will be tossed and blown. Walk on, I say, walk on, with all the hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. No, you'll never walk. No, no, you'll never walk. Thank God you'll never walk alone. You are never alone. Thank you, Jesus, you're never alone. You are not alone. Congratulations, class. And I want to just let you know that you are champions. But most of all, you're not forgotten and you'll never walk alone.
Good morning, seniors. It's my pleasure to extend greetings and congratulations to you. You've done it. Graduating high school is a thing that some people don't accomplish in their teenage years, and they do it later in life. At any point, the accomplishment is significant, and I salute you. I also want to extend some congratulations to the faculty and staff at the school as well. I know the success of the seniors could not be as such without you. So great job. If I can just offer a word of encouragement or advice, it would be something that I learned a couple months ago. I was driving home from the hospital and I was listening to the president's state of emergency address. I was on the interstate driving, and in that moment, everything became really blurred. My focus narrowed. It's like no other car was on the road but mine. And I knew in that moment exactly what was important, why I was here, and what I needed to be doing. It seemed kind of surreal. When I got home, I shared with my wife what I was listening to, and about a week later, the city shut down. No one was advised to gather in groups, and it was a strange time, still is. When I grappled with that moment, or over the last several months, I grappled with that moment, I realized something that I wasn't willing to admit when I first listened to that broadcast and listened to the news thereafter. I was struggling with fear. I was afraid, and I didn't want to name it because I felt like it would give it power, but it scared me. I was listening to my pastor, preach a sermon maybe a month or a couple weeks after that, and he expressed that same fear, and it sort of gave me some comfort, knowing that I wasn't the only one experiencing anxiety related to the situation, but I had to find a way to cope. And this is the advice that I learned. So consider a circle, a small circle, and we'll call that small circle the inner circle. In that inner circle, there are things that you can control. You can control the things you eat, the time you go to sleep, the time you wake up. If you choose to study, if you choose not to study. ultimately it's the only thing you have control over. It's your decisions. By your decisions, you can affect outcomes. And if we're wise, if we're focused, we can um, channel our energy um, to work on things in that inner circle, because it's the place where we can see the most change. It's the things that we can control. Outside of that circle, um, there are some things that we can influence, but ultimately we cannot choose for others. We can help our brothers and sisters to see the light. We could admonish our friends and family to do things that may benefit them, but ultimately they have to choose to do that. It's kind of a waste of time to stress about things in that circle because ultimately you can't control them. Um, you can't make anyone do anything. And so while you may have some influence there, you ultimately can't affect anything there except by your admonitions and your counsels. And sometimes people choose to go contrary to that. And then there's an outer circle. It's things beyond our control. It's the price of gas. It's whether a hurricane hits or not. It's things that we simply cannot change and we cannot possibly hope to influence. So it's really futile and kind of crazy to stress about things that we can't do anything about. And that's why I was afraid. I was thinking about things that I couldn't control, the spread of this virus, even though by my own actions, practicing social distancing, keeping my hands clean, not gathering in large crowds, all those things, I could affect the spread in my community, in my home. But ultimately, I can't, make others do that. And when I realized that, there was a peace that came over me. There was a scripture that I remembered, that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of peace and of a sound mind. Again, it brought everything into focus for me. And if I could share anything with you, it's that we don't have to be afraid. God, He is the author and the finisher of our faith. He knows the thoughts He has for us, thoughts of peace and not of pain, to give us an expected end. And so we can claim these promises and we can walk boldly in that truth. You guys are about to step out into a strange world. Things are going to be different than it was in high school. But you can still be successful if you just kind of put God first and trust that He will work things out for you regardless of the circumstances, because He still sits on the throne. I'll leave you with this. When I was at the St. Croix Seventh-day Adventist school, I sat under Miss Heskey, our English teacher, and she often would say this phrase at the beginning of class, beginning of the day, or in admonition throughout the day. She'd say "Carpe diem." It's a Latin phrase for "seize a day." It was to admonish us to not procrastinate, to be proactive. And so when we seize the day, there is hope. And where there is hope, there is faith. And faith is a victory that overcomes the world. Faith conquers fear. So have faith, friends. Congratulations again. Keep up the good work. We're proud of you. God bless.